Getting everything set up. I'm hoping there's audio today. We had some issues last week, but um, maybe you can give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That would be great. Something else I was going to do. Hey, Carolyn, can you hear me? That's going to be our test. If you can hear me, can you just give me a or yes or something? Letting me know. Should be able to hear me. Hopefully we don't have the same issue we had last week. Yay! Thank you. Well, we're just coming up on 3 o'clock. I know some people are still joining, but I do want to get started. And as people join, they'll join. And of course, you can always catch the replay in terms of the general messages, or if you just want to hear something again, you can catch the replay. So you can do that just, going back into the link again. And I do want to, hey, Stace, I do want to remind people who are on that if you want to, hey, Kathy, if you want to post something in the chat, you do have to be signed in. So you don't have to be signed in to watch and hear, but you do have to be signed in if you want to use the chat. So I just want, if you're fairly new to YouTube, I just want you to know that in case you're trying to post something and you don't understand why it won't work. So let's talk about, we'll work on the messages for this week first, coming up, general messages, and then of course I'll pull cards for any questions or just general requests. But tomorrow is the equinox. And so here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are heading into autumn. And in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, you're heading into spring. And just sitting with that and, looking at the daylight and the time of day, and oh my gosh, now my routine needs to shift a little bit, or I have to put new batteries in my headlamp because the days for sure are getting shorter in the Northern Hemisphere. Southern, you're probably recognizing they're getting longer. But it really was talking about transition, right? I mean, we're transitioning all of the time from one thing to another, right? One belief, one philosophy, one activity, one whatever it is. We're constantly in transition. I mean, if you look at nature, that's all that nature does. I mean, we look at every day, the sun goes down, the sun comes up. I mean, that's a transition. The moon is out, the moon, like today, we're in the new moon. So there is no visible moon up there, right? There also was an eclipse earlier today, a couple of hours ago, but partial eclipse. Anyway, talking about transitions. So I want this reading to be something that will set us up for just transitions in general. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter, if it's aligned to the equinox or not. It's just that life is transition. And so we need to get comfortable with it. Like we have to get comfortable with that. Otherwise, we're going to have some rough times, right? So I think what I want to do is start, and again, these are the general messages. So I think I'm going to start with empowering questions. Hey, Jet Set Forth, look who's here. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining. I'm going to start, I generally pull 3 cards, right, for the general messages. No particular reason why 3, but I am going to pull, I'm pulling 2 from a deck called Empowering Questions. Because I think as we transition and we prepare ourselves for any kind of transition, we need to be asking ourselves empowering questions so that we can do that, right? And then I think I'm going to give it support from Intuitive Whispers. So again, these are the general messages. Thank you for the week ahead. Um, and they take what resonates with you. Use what you can. Keep in mind some things because it may not be very apparent right now, but may come right into use as we go forward. So let's talk about these cards. The first card is, what does being mean to me? What does being mean to me? That's a really good question, right? Are we just here doing? I got to do this. I got to do this. Doing this, or are we actually being in this physical body? Are we being fully into our little spirit and soul? Right? Are we resonating with all of that, or are we just constantly outside? So, ask yourself that question. What does that mean to you to be being? The other question is, how and how often do I give myself permission to enjoy life? How do I feel then? So, how and how often do I give myself permission to enjoy life? And how do I feel then? So again, transitions, just cycles, are we enjoying what we're doing? It doesn't mean that things are always easy. It doesn't mean that we don't have to like work hard at things, right? But can we find ourselves in a constant space that allows us to enjoy, and even if it isn't pleasant, I'm not saying you have to enjoy the unpleasant, but can you enjoy the being that you have, the resources, you have the wherewithal, you have the fortitude, you have the inner strength. Can you be in that space as you work through these other things? And then the last card is, what is meant for you will find you. Well, I just love that. I think we all know that, right? But it's a good reminder that we don't have to chase things. It doesn't mean we don't have to do any work. It doesn't mean, it's not up to us to create our life. But, it the universe responds. And so if you're there fully, if you're there in your true self and you're putting out the best of you, what you've got that day, the best that you've got that day, things are going to find you. You're not going to miss them. So if it isn't there just yet, it doesn't mean that it's not coming. It may mean that it's not meant for you at all. It may mean that it's not meant for you right now, right? And it just may mean that there's a few more things that you need to do to get yourself prepared for that. So those are the general messages that I have for the week. I really like those questions. What does being mean to me? How and how often do I give myself permission to enjoy life? And how do I feel then? That's a really nice one to reflect upon. And what is meant for you will find you, for sure. Okay, so I'm opening it up to questions and requests. If you have a specific question, put it in the chat. If you don't have a specific question, but you just have great, I'd love a card for today, just put that in the chat, general card, and I will pull a general card for you. Um, I will tell you, well, you all are getting ready there. And for those of you who read my newsletter, I mentioned it in there, but I did 3 hours of card readings Friday night at a fundraiser for an animal shelter. They take in animals all the time, but they just took in, I mean, I think it's somewhere between 30 and 40 puppies, from a not a good situation. And anyway, and the minute I started, I had a line, and that line did not stop until the place was empty, and I still had one more person coming. So that felt great. And every dollar that was paid for the readings, 100% went to the shelter. So I was really, really pleased about that. So, okay. Jet Set 4. Sure, I would love to receive a general card, please. You got it. Hey, Sunny, Sunny, Sunny. Queen number 2. I love these cards this week, just aligning to how I've been feeling and thinking this past few weeks. Good questions, right? Okay, Carolyn is card is Queen 1. Stacy's Queen 2. Jet Set 4, Queen 3. Oh, but look at Kathy Williams is Queen 2 also. I don't understand it. Okay, let's get a card for Jet Set 4. I'm getting okay, Jet Set 4. First of all, when I was putting my cards out, I was putting out Moonology, and look at the card right here, New Moon Eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse that we had earlier, but we are in a new moon, and it is an eclipse, and that was on the bottom of the deck. So I'm taking it. All right, let's get a card, Jet Set Fork, general card for Jet Set Fork out of Moonology. Let's see. Isn't that a beautiful card? I know. Oh, look at now, you're Queen number 1. Is that even a crown? I don't even know what it is. Okay. Let's get a card here for Jet Set Fork. Yeah. Your dreams need a practical plan. Hey, Thea. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. I love it. I love it for you. Based on a conversation you and I were having a couple of weeks ago about the generator, right? The dreaming, the ideas, like, right? So it's really funny that this comes up for you. You're a master at creating. You really are. You're one of the most creative people that I know. And so the practical plan, of course, is just coming in as saying we have to have both, right? I mean, you and I know this. Again, we've talked about it just very recently, but I love that that's the card that came for you. So just sort of something there as a little bit of a reminder, something to sort of come up and underneath and say, yes, don't stop dreaming, don't stop creating, and not everything has to come to fruition, but the things that you want, of course, those are the ones that need the practical plan. I think that's pretty straightforward for you. But I'm glad that you came and got the card. Okay, let's see. Stacy, yes, those cards aligned. Kathy, I love that you're here for us. I do too. Thank you. Izzy, you just enjoyed a morning at the park, jumped at the picnic table just to watch and enjoyed a Tai Chi group. Oh, that is fun. Stace, a general card. Okay. Kathy, general card. You got it. You are welcome, Jet Set Fork. Yeah, I love that card for you. Okay, let's get Stacy. General card for Stace. I think in light of your comments, Stacy, about these cards sort of being things that have been coming up for you, I think I'm going to go to the power of surrender. Sunny, I see your request too. Thank you. I'm going to power of surrender for Stacy. It's right here. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. I know that's a little hard to read, the small fine print. But going back to that message about what does being mean, right? Like, who are you? What are you here to do? And then how often do you give yourself permission to enjoy life? And where do those beliefs about permission, first of all, where does that come from? Enjoyment, how do we define enjoyment? Is that our definition or is that a definition from someone else? So it's a good, and then what is meant for you will find you, it's like, it goes right along with that. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Whatever you need to move out of the way so that those things can become more full for you, more rich, that you really can appreciate what enjoyment means for you, and you define it and you experience, and it doesn't compare to anybody else's enjoyment, right? Because it's yours personally. Two people can be doing the same thing and have completely different experiences, right? So I like that. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. And then you can own your power. Nice. Okay. Uh, beautiful card. Perfect fitting into my life right now. Yeah, I thought it went well with your comment. Beautiful. Um, general card for Kathy. Then we have a general card for Sunny. Hola, Cecilia. Okay, let's get a card for Kathy. Kathy, I think for you, I am going to, I think I'm going to this deck called Healing with the Angels. Something about being outside with Izzy in nature. I don't know. This seems right. So let's get it. Oh, let's get you two cards. Self-acceptance and divine timing. There you go. Self-acceptance and divine timing. Thea, I see your request. Yeah, so Kathy, I think also, you know, I love that I've been in touch with so many of you recently. So thank you. But the divine timing, right? How things come to us. And I think that goes right along with what is meant for you will find you is the divine timing, right? It comes when things are aligned. And then your self-acceptance. Play, as we talked about before, that enjoyment that is coming up here, and being. What does that mean? What does it mean to your being, and getting in touch with that and accepting all pieces of that? And I think that when we are in alignment in alignment with everything that we know for ourselves. And hey, this is like transition. This is a life process, right? And it changes every day. But when we are in alignment with that, that's when things start popping in. That's the divine timing, right? Either it comes or it shows us another way to get there. So yeah, that's what I have. I think curious to know about some of your projects too, in terms of divine timing, but they all will happen as we know they will. Sunny, let's get you a general card. I'm getting a general card for Sunny, and I think it is coming from, I think it's Crazy Sexy Love Notes. What do you think of that? Let's get you a card. A card for Sunny, Crazy Sexy Love Notes. I do love that these card pulls are all reflecting back to the general messages, as of course we tend to see. But let's get a card here for Sunny. Crazy Sexy Love Notes. Crazy Sexy Love Notes. It's a two-sided deck. So it has messages on both sides. Oh my gosh, Kathy, look at the card that's sitting on top. Everybody from my last live play was a huge piece of it. I love that sitting on top. Sunny, your card is Notice the Blessing. Notice blessings. Notice the blessings. Gratitude puts us in a position of having instead of wanting. Thanking rather than complaining. When we focus on what we already have and take stock of our blessings, we get more blessings. What are you grateful for? Share it with yourself and others. So it's a reminder here, energy flows where attention goes, right? So when we practice gratitude, when we sit more in that space of thankfulness for what is, then that becomes a richer space. When we put our attention on what we're lacking, that's where energy is going to go. And you're just going to find more opportunities to feel lack. So gratitude isn't about, spiritually bypassing things. It's not saying, oh, I'm so thankful that I fell and scraped my knees today. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're reflecting at the end of the day, can you say, Well, I'm glad it was just a knee scrape and I didn't chip a tooth, right? So it's like, how do you see things? That's our choice. It's our choice of perspective. So this is a reminder to notice the blessings and notice how they come in like really subtle ways, right? Like blessings don't always have to be this poof. It can be really sweet and subtle. Okay, let's get a card for Thea. Kathy, thank you, Noel, my friend. You're welcome, my friend. And congrats on all of your readings for the animals. Great. It was so wonderful that that night, Friday night. I was exhausted yesterday, I will be honest. I was completely wiped out. uh, yes. Here is your card, Sunny. Notice the blessings. It's so lovely. See, and it's like the big things that are really obvious, and then it's the little things that come in nice and quiet. Okay, let's get a card here for Thea Lee. You are welcome, Sunny Sunny. Um, let's get a card for you, Thea. And for you, I think I'm going to Sacred Destiny. Let's get that out. Who doesn't love a little card from Sacred Destiny? Let's see. Thea, purity. Look at that. Stunning. Purity. I mean, it really does come back to everything that we're talking about. And the cards that we've seen, like the card for Stacy, surrendering outdated beliefs about yourself, the card for Kathy about divine timing, but self-acceptance, right? The card for Jet Set Fork, which was about um, your dreams need a practical plan, like purifying, like coming back to your essence. What is your essence? Who is your essence? And think about it in terms of removing assignments, removing uh, roles, removing titles, removing functions of what you do, but it's not who you are. So this purity, I think, is coming back to really, really fine tuning and getting deep in there about you and just checking in, like, where are you getting lost in things, right? Do you need to sort of put a pause on some things and come back to the real refined essence? That's what I have. Okay, did I cover everybody? Was there anyone else who needed a card? If you all would, if you are so inclined to hit the thumbs up, um, you are welcome, Thea. That's always helpful for my channel. I do have a donation piece if you're inclined to do that. That's down below, but you also can join my mailing list. And I am just getting back to sending out communications on there, but I will post things that I'm doing and you'll have that. And then, of course, if you did want to set up a reading of your own, a full reading, you can do that again, same thing by the link down below in the description. Hi, Kiki Law. Gracious greetings. Oh, I like that. Gracious greetings. I just may be stealing that. I got to be honest. I really like it. Okay, last chance. Hey, Katie Marshall. Last chance. Did anybody else have a question or did anyone else just want a general card? Oh, Sunny, thank you so much. I'm glad you could hear my voice because last Sunday, no one could hear my voice. and we had to start it all over again on a different link. That was a little bit of a cluster, but we got through it. Kiki would love a card. Let's get you a card. Let's get Kiki a card. I think I'm going from Whispers from the Ocean for you. How about that? Let's get Kiki. What does she? I hope I'm saying your name correctly. That's it. It's that. Okay. Well, I think there's two here for you. Okay, the first one is look beyond the surface. Got those glasses over there. Avoid becoming distracted by surface issues. Focus on the underlying motivation, cause, or beauty in a situation. Seek ways to bring depth to your world. And then the other one is be insightful and established. Oh, how interesting. Be established. I'll take it. Ground and rebalance your energy. Bring your awareness into the now rather than allowing it to occupy the past or future. I mean, these really are right in line with the messages for the week. And of course, resonate with everything else on the table. So be insightful and established. I really, really like that wording. Ground and rebalance. Bring your awareness into the now and then look beyond the surface. So, you know, there's a thing on like your side mirror on a lot of cars now, and it really took me a long time to understand what it means. But things are closer than they appear, right? So depending on how we're seeing things, we may be seeing it not exactly as it is. So are we applying a filter to it? Are we applying, again, going back to Stacy's card, surrendering outdated beliefs about yourself? Are we holding on to some things that are in our way to see things as they really are, right? Are we filtering them? Are we qualifying them? Are we putting out an expectation, and then when something happens, we're trying to fit it into what we were expecting when in fact they're not even the same thing, right? So going beyond the surface, like, having that perspective, taking the step back, and where can you actually see something for what it is? You can see it when you are in your established place. If you're somewhere in the past in your thinking, in your doing, and that's how you're seeing things, that's not reality. It's a memory, you know, maybe a little fuzzy, maybe not, but it's back there. Or if you're constantly thinking forward, 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 and you're out of your centered space here, you can't be seeing things for what they are, right? Because you're living in this fantasy world of what may be coming. So I just love that. Really getting centered and grounded and coming back to center, and then looking at everything, looking at things from there. And time, like that's the message I'm getting. Time, having patience to explore something and let it reveal itself instead of making assumptions about it. Yes, that's what I got. Okay. Let's see, Katie. Let's get a card for Katie. Katie, I think I'm going to take, I haven't worked with Angel Tarot in a really long time, this deck, partly because it's rather monstrous in my hands. But I do like this deck. So I'm going to pull a card out of, I don't think I've pulled a tarot card today, have I? Oh, I haven't. I've been doing all oracle cards. Okay. Let's pull a tarot card for Katie. What she needs to know and do. And we got it right here. The Lovers. Ding, 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 ding. Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. So here's the Lovers. And I will say I was on a service this morning at 10 o'clock, and at the Unity Church here locally, but I just tuned in on YouTube, and the speaker was talking about tarot cards, which I was like, oh, look, I've never even tuned in on this channel before, and they're talking about tarot cards. But one of the cards that he was talking about was the Lovers. So I love that it showed up again. Um, so in terms of the Lovers, Katie, this certainly can be about your relationships, right? Absolutely. But how do we make our relationships the richest possible? And the way that we make them the richest possible is self-love. And so the Lovers is really about self-love. How much can we love ourselves? And I was reading something from someone that I follow on Insight Timer, uh, and it was like, what is the thing that you love the most? And how long does it take you to answer myself? I just love that, right? So, um, your decisions, your relationships, your interactions, they all what's the word I want to use? They flourish. They flourish as a result of you showing up in self-love. And again, I think it goes all back to these other cards on the table. It goes back to Thea's card of purity. It goes back to Kathy's card of self-acceptance and divine timing. It goes to Stacy's about surrendering outdated beliefs. It goes to, Sunny's on the blessings, right? Like how we're seeing things. So all of these cards come together and then also comes back to what does being mean to me? So, yeah, a reminder to really focus on that self-love piece and really, because we're talking about transitions, as we make choices, as we take steps, reflect back, like, are we doing that from a place of self-love, right? Are we making those choices from self-love, or are we making them taking everything external into account? So that's what I have for you. Okay, I do think I hit everybody, so I am closing, but I will see you the next time. You can subscribe to my channel so that when I do load another live, you'll get notified. I think you do have to turn on notifications. You are welcome, Katie. Thank you for joining. It was good to have you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for the hearts. I love it. Thank you for the thumbs up. I do appreciate those. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and I will see you the next time. And happy equinox to everybody tomorrow. Nice transition. And yeah, I love you all. Bye. Thank you.